Hello and welcome to Leashed Dads Podcast. I'm Jared.
I'm Justin.
We are two leashed dads that get together to discuss our parental life while chained to our everyday responsibilities. And we are continuing our mini series on back to school.
And this time, we've covered the parents getting ready. We've covered back to school shopping. Now let's talk about the children and getting them ready.
Yes, that's like one of the biggest headaches, I swear, is making sure they have everything on the first day. Do you or do you not do the chart on the first day of school?
Chart.
The picture with the chart. I want to be this when I get older or whatever the hell. Well, it is a thing in our household, and
I know Sam
you know if you know what it is.
You know if you know. I know.
Yes.
I know that Sam likes to take the kids to school on the first day and get a picture of them. Now, this is also very difficult though, because there's an age gap between our eldest and our 7-year-old. So 11 and 7, that's 4 years difference, right? And then we've got our 5-year-old that's going to the same school as our 7-year-old. So those two get to go to the same school. Our 11-year-old goes to a different school. How the hell do you get a picture of all three kids?
3 different adults.
I'm at work.
Grandma, grandpa.
Grandma and grandpa.
Mom and dad.
Nope. No, grandma and grandpa are going to do their own thing. They're probably not even home at this point. They're probably on some sort of trip.
Or working in my case, yeah.
Or working. I mean, my parents are retired, so they're doing whatever they want to do. I know, right? I'm jealous. I take a vacation. They're already on vacation.
La-di freaking die.
Exactly. So, anywho, getting children ready. This can be a hassle for parents because I'm sure those children are still want to be, not are still, but still want to be in that summer vacation routine. Right? Now, as far as the shopping we talked about last week here, I want to get an idea. Do you take your kids shopping with you to help them start working on getting their brain to slowly transition into school? Or do you just, if you are doing online shopping, do you let them pick out certain things, like maybe a new backpack? This also can help them, like I said, mentally prepare for school. Get them on that school mindset. Do you do that? Or are you just kind of one of those people that's like, yeah, they get what they get? What about you, Jared? I mean, you guys just went school shopping last week or whatever, right?
Tonight. It was only for the backpack, and we do take the kids. And I like to think of it in the way that this is their stuff that they are going to bring for their entire school year. I don't want to be responsible for, well, that's not what I want. I don't like that. And I don't like those kind of talks and headaches. So I like to bring them along. And that way they can feel like they have a part and a say in, what they will have for the next school year. What about you? What do you do?
So it all depends on what we're feeling like. Usually when it comes to like backpacks and whatnot, we do look at like online shopping and letting the kids pick out their backpack.
Okay.
Just because sometimes like the retail stores don't have all the backpacks you can find or like the designs they're looking for. Like a child might have a specific, I don't know. Last year, for example, I think Nico had Rainbow Friends backpack. I'm pretty sure like Walmart wasn't going to have that unless you went to a special like Walmart or an area that Rainbow Friends was really popular. Or you went to the mall and they had one of those kiosks that had the Rainbow Friends stuff. Arlo, I think, had Huggy Wuggy or something like that.
Huggy Wuggy?
Yeah, it's from Poppy Playtime. It's a video game. So, I could be wrong. He might have had some other backpack. But point being, they pick out their backpacks. We also let them pick out new shoes, especially when school requires you to have 2 different types of shoes, one for regular school, one for the regular time, and then one pair for gym or whatnot. So we kind of let them do that, make them feel good, and give them 2 pairs of shoes and whatnot. So,
All right.
um, just some small things, right? Really, uh, makes them feel good, makes them again get ready for school. Because I think the hard part is throwing your child on day one into school, and then they're just like, "I'm not ready." Like they're just not mentally prepared. Physically, they can be fine, right? Obviously, you're hoping you've taken them to the doctor, you've gotten their immunization records uh, all updated and whatnot, and they're physically fit and ready to go. But mentally, it's a whole nother battle. Do you? Are you? This sounds like a funny question, but have you ever had to battle with a child to get them to go to bed for school?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's constant. Even through the school year, it's a battle. It's and
Really?
Genes are a funny thing because I hated going having a bedtime from the age of 6 until 15. I hated it. Okay,
Mm,
so it only makes sense that my kids would fight back and hate it too.
right. Yeah. It's very interesting because I think the going to bed thing, it sucks, especially when they're already in some sort of summer routine. Like when it comes down to it, we're gonna stop letting the kids sleep on the couch here during the weekdays. They're gonna go back to sleeping in their beds, we usually let them sleep on the couch during the weekends when they don't have school. Obviously, like Friday, Saturday, they can sleep on the couch. So they're gonna kind of start returning to that routine a little bit if they choose to sleep, if they want to sleep on the couch. Um, but we also pick out new clothes too. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Train of thought. My brain has been all over the place recently. Focus has been very difficult, but um, no, we so as I was saying, getting them into kind of like the whole sleep habit. We've had recent troubles with some people falling asleep or going to bed. Like they've been like, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
Jesus. And that's during the summer. Like it's more or less you just don't want to go to bed because you don't have to necessarily get up in the morning and do something. But it's gonna have to change. It's really gonna have to change because school is important. And if I hate this because my children are always trying to say, I can't sleep or um, something on the lines of I'm tired and they're starting to fall asleep, that's going to become a problem, especially when on day one we get a phone call or like a couple days in, we get a phone call from the school saying, yep, your child's in our office because they're falling asleep in class. It's like, oh, God. Or they went to the nurse's office because they couldn't focus. Something like
Right.
that. It's gonna drive me nuts. Really gonna drive me nuts when if that happens. Um, because honestly, I've had a lot of that before, and it was just so stupid. It drove. I love my children, but they drive me up a wall when I get a phone call from the school saying blah blah blah. It's like, just send him back to class. He's fine. If he's not vomiting, if he's not running a fever, send his butt back to class.
Right. Why? Yeah. Why would you send them home?
It's not even them trying to send me home. It's like more or less just me being notified that, hey, this your kid came into the nurse's office because he said he wasn't feeling good, but then all of a sudden he was fine.
He wants to go home.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we've got some ways to combat that though too. Since we did have trouble with it last year, hopefully this year we can combat it a little bit. We've put him in some. We've got him seeing a therapist for some things. Um, we also know we can probably send him with like something that helps him not feel so homesick. Excuse me. So I think that's going to be a big thing is making sure that they feel secure, right? I think that's a big
Yeah.
problem with my child or one of our children was the fact that he wasn't feeling secure or needing some sort of comfort. And now we know that we can do that as well. Give him something to go to his locker for if he's feeling homesick or whatnot. So we'll see how it all pans out in the long run. But what else are you doing? Or, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things people can do, or maybe there's not a lot of things to help get the kids ready. Do you do anything else mentally to help get children ready? Because
In
I
the
think it's a big mental thing. Sorry.
No, that's fine. It gives me time to think because in the future, like let's say second, third grade, I would like to start having like maybe afternoons or nightly conversations with the kids
Mm-hmm.
about school subjects, kind of get their mind back in to learning certain things instead
Right.
of what I want to eat or what frickin' Daniel Tiger is doing. So, I was just like trying to get their mind back in the swing of learning things, I think is the biggest issue because I know that in my experience as a student, I was never prepared for mentally, never prepared
Mm-hmm.
for the first day of school. So if I could help them understand and like know that, hey, in a few weeks, you're going to have to start sitting in the classroom and learning and
Right.
buckling down. And, honestly, they've got some stuff to work on. Cora has her speech. Eleanor has her lowercase letters. She's doing very well on like alphabet and counting to 100 and stuff. But I really think that in the future, if, I could do it now too, but and we have been. Natalie and I have been. We sat down for breakfast at a restaurant on Sunday, and we wrote out, her name and our name,
Oh, there you go.
and in lower, in the proper way to write it because we noticed that she was writing it, her name, to sign her picture, all capital letters again. So Eleanor, here, let's try practicing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
here's our names and your name. Can you practice your lowercase letters? And she did it. So,
Nice.
what
Well,
do
it's
you think
always a
about
good
that?
thing.
You like
Um,
workbooks and flashcards? Do you think that helps
yeah,
before school starts?
I do. I think that's kind of one of the things I was kind of hinting towards. Honestly, is do you do anything with like flashcards or uh, math or something to help keep them going? I mean, my kids, my daughter, I mean, even though she's only 1.5 and everything, she's always been about books. Like recently, it's books, 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 books. Well, that's a good thing for my kids, my older kids too. Like they want me to read to
Yeah.
them, so helping them keep that reading and slash level of engagement. Actually, over my break down in Florida, right? Um, one of my sons, he had gotten something for his birthday. It was like a 4-pack of experiments, like little science experiments. They were like the brand of Unbelievable Science or something like that. Um, but one was like like a putty. One was like an avalanche. One was a gemstone finder,
Oh
excavator,
yeah,
and then
Eleanor did the
some of the
gemstone finder one.
yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
some. It was 4 of those things, and like one of them's like a growing your neon crystals or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so down in Florida, we did 3 of those.
Nice.
2 of them, we did the gemstone and the avalanche, which was fun because even after the avalanche was done, right? You had like this small little mountain. After you did the avalanche, poured the water into it. Um, my kids wanted to continue seeing how much water they could put in the like material until and see what happened to it as you kept adding more and more water, which is great because at least it's teaching them that let's okay, so we know this is going to happen once we make the avalanche happen, right? We pour water in, it's like a little foaminess or something. um, what happens? Let's create another hypothesis now. Let's create another experiment from an experiment to see how much water we can add in before the material or the substance changes again?
Yeah.
Or does it change at all? So it was really cool. And then the putty unfortunately did not work. And my aunt ended up watching a video from an influencer on YouTube, and she sat there for 20 minutes trying to do the putty thing too. Did not work for her. So I'm sorry to say this, but you guys, when it comes to your putty, very disappointed in you folks. Very disappointed. Your
Shame.
instructions are poor. Your instructions are very poor because it says something about a spoonful. It doesn't tell you how big of a spoonful. If you're taking like an actual like serving spoon, like your feeding spoon, or if you need like a tablespoon, a teaspoon, or what type of spoon you need. Shame on you. You usually give us those materials anyways, and you did not. So shame, shame, shame.
Bastards.
But your other ones work just fine. Congratulations. I like you. Kind of. But yeah, no. So keeping them involved in such things, even if you don't want to count it as a school relation, keeping them involved in some type of activity, learning activity like that, is a great way to get them ready.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're just trying to make a game out of it too, where, for example, or you just start quizzing them. I mean, my kids always loved quizzing me. Like they'll ask me, "Dad, what's 1 million plus 1 million?" 2 million.
Dos million.
But at the same time, I go, you better be asking me a question you know the answer to, rather than just asking me a question.
Right.
Because the only way you can confirm if it's right or not is by asking it if you already know it. Don't be asking me what's 1 million times 1 million, and it's like 1 zillion. Like, I don't even know. It's like something to E or whatever based on a calculator. But unless you have a graphing calculator.
Right.
So, but any folks, I know we've thrown another mini series here at you. What are some things you folks like to do to help get your children ready? Did we touch everything? Did we cover everything you do, or is there something else we're not doing? We want to know. Sharing experiences is what makes parenting that much better. You share your experience, we can learn from it. We share our experiences, you can learn from us. I mean, everybody to each their own, but we want to hear from you. You know how to reach us. Like, subscribe for more content so you can see when that content comes out. Also, if you want to hit us up, leashdads14@gmail.com with your questions. Or you can always leave questions on Spotify as well. YouTube, leave a comment.
Yep.
We'll like to hear from you. We'll see you around. Have a safe summer.